everybody, and welcome to the Captain's Update. We're back on the bridge. We're filming just now. It's just gone 1 o'clock. We're on day 7 of the cruise, so we're kind of at the halfway point, Captain, as we make our way across. We're going to go take a look at the weather because we've got a little bit of swell happening just now. So I go straight over to Captain Rob.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Rob. This is our third installment for weather updates. I know that many of you are curious how we're doing. Today we have a little bit of motion in the ocean, and I'd like to explain a little bit about that. And as we discussed earlier on in the voyage, we have the remnants of Hurricane Oscar, which is moving off to the northeast. And you can see it here on this screenshot of our weather chart here. And of course you can see Symphony of the Seas here, right in the middle of the Atlantic. So this swell we're feeling here, coming in on our starboard bow, coming in from this direction, is coming actually from the remnants of Hurricane Oscar. Has turned into a large low pressure system taking over the entire northeastern portion of the Atlantic. And this swell is like a delayed action from that low pressure, which has now moved on. We're feeling the effects of it now. This low pressure system now is over 1,400 miles from the Symphony, and still we can feel the swell. This is a normal phenomenon, and it happens out here in the middle of the ocean. In conditions like this, it's very common. So here we are moving along in the direction straight towards Port Canaveral and passing over the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. And in fact, one of the things I'd like to point out is that we pass nearby a seamount here. This seamount was about 60 miles away from us, and it gets very shallow, up to 91 feet. So we're passing over this portion of the ocean and now moving on to the western Atlantic. If we can go back and look at the screenshot here of hurricane activity, and you can see we're very fortunate not to have any tropical cyclone activity out in the Atlantic at this moment. But that does not mean there's not rough weather out there. It just means that there's no cyclonic activity, which is good for us, because we are still technically in hurricane season. But forecast is good for us looking ahead. As the day goes on today and tonight and tomorrow, these seas will gradually diminish and the ride will become better and better. But it's a gradual process. And as we move to the west and it moves to the northeast away from each other, things will improve. There'll be a few showers around from now and then, but for the most part, we'll have partly sunny skies most of the time. And I'm quite optimistic about the remainder of the voyage being quite nice. However, today, we did have to close the pools. We had a little bit of sloshing of the pool water getting onto the deck and going over the side, making it unsafe for anybody in the area. So this is normal. We have to take the pool water down in these conditions. We're monitoring it very closely. Hope to be able to add water to the pools and get them back into service. Maybe tonight, hopefully by tomorrow, but really time will tell. But as I mentioned, things will gradually improve as we go.
Captain, as you see, we're going right up to day 9. We're due into Port Canaveral on day number 12?
12.
That's day 12 because we arrive into Miami, then that's the day that the guests depart. So day 9, 10, 11, everything getting better as we go over. Actually, take a look at this, okay? So transatlantic's going from Europe all the way over to the States. So we come out of the Mediterranean, but there are some other ships that are going out of Europe, so Northern Europe. So maybe out of England, maybe out of Amsterdam, different cruise lines, etc. So they're going to have interesting ride.
They're going to have an interesting ride. In fact, let's take a look at our active shot here of our weather chart. We still have superimposed over the top our Great Circle route. We've taken the southern route, as I mentioned earlier, and this is the northern route. This is the shorter route, but it's the northern route. And yes, that would have taken us, of course, through the rough weather. We would have much larger seas than we're experiencing now had we been to the north. And for those who are coming down from the northeast, they are definitely going to have to go through all this weather before they get to warmer and calmer conditions. So I feel for them. They are challenged with that. And we're fortunate enough to be far enough south to not have to experience what they're going through.
Now, Captain, as you know, on Channel 14 we do the morning show when we give our guests updates, and guests go right into the show. One question that we had for the Captain was, do you have enough fuel for us to make it all the way across?
We do. We have a lot of fuel on board. We build our ships to have as much fuel as we would ever possibly need. So in this particular case, we actually have enough fuel not only to get us all the way to Port Canaveral, but if we were to have to turn around and go back, we would have enough to go across and back without fueling.
Fantastic.
That is fantastic.
And one more question. Did you ever get seasick?
No.
No, that's good. That's good.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, yeah?
Yeah.
On smaller boats?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
When I was young.
No, when you were young?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. And thank you, by the way, for tuning in to channel number 14.
Yeah, Bobby, I don't watch channel 14.
You don't?
No, not the morning show.
You don't call in?
No, I've never called in.
Okay. All right. Well, it's time for us to wrap up the show. Thank you very much, Captain. Time for me to get out of here before the Captain chases me off the bridge. We'll see you next time on the Captain's Weather Update. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Who's calling me? Who's calling me on the phone?
I have no idea. What are you talking about?
I don't know. Sorry. I do apologize.
Really?
You got enough fuel? Weren't you? Got enough fuel?
I think so.
Good.
Last time I checked.